The Ram II tank marked a significant advancement in Canadian armored forces during World War II, at a time when the country's industry was still recovering from the Great Depression and had limited experience in large-scale tank production. Based on the American M3 medium tank chassis, the Ram II featured an improved turret capable of rotating 360 degrees, armed with the British 6-pounder gun. The project aimed to replace the infantry tank Valentine, which no longer met battlefield requirements. Although the Ram II did not see combat, it played a crucial role in crew training and served as the foundation for various support variants, leaving a notable mark in Allied armored history. Emerging amid rising demand for cruiser tanks following the Dunkirk evacuation in 1940, the Ram II demonstrated the Allies' flexible production strategy. With Britain and the United States unable to meet the demand, Canada, with its developing industry, was tasked with producing the Valentine but faced difficulties with components and processes. Developing the Ram II on the M3 chassis but equipping it with a more powerful turret allowed Canada to leverage available resources, improving both the quality and quantity of tanks. It also showcased adaptability to diverse tactical needs in total war. Thus, the Ram II became a symbol of the combination of technology and combat practicality within the Allied forces. The Ram II tank was developed based on the chassis and drivetrain of the American M3 Lee tank. Its newly designed hull was cast as a single piece with a lower profile and equipped with a turret capable of rotating 360 degrees, addressing the limitation of the fixed hull mount gun on the M3. The first prototype was completed in June 1941, marking a significant step forward in Canada's domestic tank production efforts. The production process in Canada faced many challenges due to limited experience and reliance on imported materials from the United States and Britain, particularly the Continental R975 engine. Early designs included a side hatch and a secondary machine gun turret, but these features weakened the structure and complicated manufacturing, so they were removed in later versions. Continuous improvements reflected Canada's war industry's ability to adapt quickly. Production of the Ram I began in November 1941, with the first 50 units armed with the 2-pounder gun, as the 6-pounder was not yet available. From February 1942, production shifted to the Ram II equipped with the 6-pounder, continuing until July 1943. The final version featured the 6-pounder Mark V, eliminated the secondary turret and side hatch, and replaced them with a Browning 7.7 machine gun. Approximately 2,000 Ram tanks and variants were produced in total. The arrival of the M4 Sherman changed Canada's production strategy. The United States canceled an order for 1,351 Ram Mark II M4A5 tanks before delivery. Canada switched to producing the M4A1 Grizzly starting in March 1942, but Ram production continued to avoid disrupting the factories. This process demonstrated flexibility in war industry planning, prioritizing output and experience, even though the Ram was not the optimal design, contributing significantly to the development of Canada's heavy industrial capacity. The Ram II was a medium tank weighing around 29 tons, designed to be operated by a crew of 5: commander, gunner, loader, driver, and co-driver, who also served as hull gunner. This design aimed to optimize crew coordination, ensuring effective combat performance on the battlefield. Regarding its main armament, the Ram II was equipped with the 57mm quick-firing 6-pounder gun, including the Ordnance quick-firing Mark III or Mark V versions, with barrels 50 calibers long. Notably, the early Ram I models and some initial Ram II units had to use the 40mm 2-pounder gun due to shortages of the 6-pounder during early production. The 6-pounder on the Ram II was highly regarded for its armor-piercing capability. Suitable for destroying enemy tanks, the tank carried 92 rounds with a loading speed ranging from 5.2 to 4 seconds, depending on crew skill and experience. The gun's elevation angle varied from -7 degrees to 20 degrees, allowing the gunner to easily adjust fire against targets in varied terrain. The secondary armament consisted of two M1919A4 machine guns chambered in 7.62 millimeters, one coaxial machine gun inside the turret and another mounted on the hull, each supplied with 1,500 rounds. In late Ram 2 versions, the secondary machine gun turret was removed and replaced by a Browning 7.7 millimeter machine gun mounted in a ball mount at the front, increasing the total machine gun ammunition reserve to 3,000 rounds. The average rate of fire reached about 500 rounds per minute, providing steady firepower to protect the tank against infantry and light targets. In terms of armor protection, the Ram 2 featured a cast homogeneous armor with varying thicknesses depending on the vehicle's location. The front hull armor was 88.9 millimeters thick, sloped between 26 and 66 degrees, with the lower front armor and driver's hatch both measuring 50.8 millimeters thick, angled flexibly to enhance ballistic resistance. Side hull armor ranged from 38.1 to 63.5 millimeters, while the rear and roof armor measured between 25.4 and 38.1 millimeters. The turret was protected by armor between 60 and 76.2 millimeters in key areas with reinforced mantlet and gun shield to improve durability. Notably, the Ram 2's armor was considered significantly better than early M4 Sherman models, although it still had vulnerabilities such as the rear side armor near the turret ring and engine compartment, which was only about 50 millimeters thick, making it susceptible to damage that could incapacitate the crew or engine. Additionally, the secondary machine gun turret at the front on early versions was another weak point. The Ram 2 used a Continental R975 gasoline engine, a 9-cylinder radio type, delivering an effective power output of around 400 horsepower in real and simulated combat. The power-to-weight ratio is 13.6 horsepower per ton, enabling agile operation and meeting mobility requirements across varied terrain. The tank could reach a maximum speed of 40 kilometers per hour forward and 6 kilometers per hour in reverse, with a drivetrain consisting of a Borg-Warner clutch and controlled differential. The suspension system featured a vertical volute spring suspension, similar to early Sherman and Lee tanks, allowing the vehicle to withstand rough terrain. The Ram 2 had an operational range of approximately 232 kilometers and was equipped with a smoke generator system to provide concealment during movement. Regarding dimensions, the Ram 2 measured 5.8 meters in length, 2.9 meters in width, and 2.67 meters in height. Its lower profile compared to the M3 Lee reduced its battlefield silhouette, enhancing survivability. The Ram 2 tank never saw direct combat but was primarily used for crew training in the United Kingdom until mid-1944, freeing up Sherman tanks for frontline service. The Ram 2 chassis was adapted into various combat support variants, most notably the Ram Kangaroo, an armored personnel carrier used in the 1944 Operation Totalize and campaigns in Le Havre and Hamburg. This variant enhanced infantry mobility and reduced casualties. Other versions, such as the Ram OP Command for mobile observation posts, the Ram Badger equipped with flamethrowers in the Netherlands, the Ram Ammunition Carrier, and the ARV Recovery Vehicle also played important roles in the war effort. Continued production of the Ram alongside the Sherman reflected a strategy focused on maximizing output and accumulating industrial experience. After the war, the Netherlands operated the Ram, upgrading it with a 75mm gun before replacing it with Centurion tanks in 1952. Some units were repurposed as fixed fortifications, underscoring the Ram's lasting legacy. The Ram 2 tank is often regarded as a failure in its main combat role due to being outclassed by the M4 Sherman and facing production difficulties. However, the Ram 2 played a crucial role in the development of Canada's defense industry and paved the way for the production of the M4A1 Grizzly. Its limitations were mainly due to timing and Allied standardization policies rather than design flaw. The flexible Ram chassis was adapted into numerous support variants, most notably the Ram Kangaroo armored personnel carrier, which significantly influenced post-war vehicle designs and tactics. The story of the Ram 2 reflects Canada's industrial capability and adaptability during the war. Though it was not successful as a frontline combat tank, the Ram 2 holds significant value through its variants and support roles, standing as a testament to practical contribution rather than failure.